And we are back, and we just finished watching 2023's Call Me Chihiro, rated TV 14, with a runtime of 2 hours and 11 minutes. And it's currently streaming on Netflix. I don't know. I don't think this was a Netflix original film, but this is from director, pardon me if I get this incorrectly, Rikiya Imaizumi, and with writing credits to Rikiya Imaizumi, Kaori Sawai, and Hiroyuki Yasuda.
It's a Japanese film.
It's a Japanese film, yes.
We don't know how to pronounce names.
Yeah, and we apologize in advance for any butchering of your names. This is the story of a young woman named Chihiro, played by, and again, apologies for the mispronunciation, Kasumi Arimura. I think that's right. A young woman who works at a bento shop and has this kind of eclectic group of friends that she
has sort of a very unique philosophy on life that leads her to accumulate this group of
friend circle.
Make these interesting friendships. So that would probably be a good summation of the plot, really.
Yeah. This was G's choice. Excellent. Why'd you want to see this?
Because we were browsing on Netflix and I saw the trailer.
The trailer was good. What'd you think?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did it remind you of anything?
No, it did not.
You said it reminded you of a movie called Amelie.
I said it reminded me of
Mom said that. I did not say that because I don't think it reminded me of Amelie at all.
No?
No.
How she kind of engineered
it was I saw Amelie a long time ago, and from what I remember about Amelie, the people in her life were like her dad and her coworkers and herself. Mm-hmm. And it was about sort of like finding love or finding the spark of life again or something like that through this quirky, happy, fun girl named Amelie. And
in this case,
this one,
isn't it sort of similar in the fact that she tries to positively impact the people around her? She moves in this kind of ethereal light, and she's very positive, right, even when she's stabbed with a compass.
And that's to me, that's sort of the difference. She's not like, the personalities are completely different. So that's why I didn't pick up on any sort of connection to Amelie.
Really? I don't think they were. I mean, they were different, but not.
You're saying
I saw similarities.
You're saying like ethereal, and Amelie wasn't really ethereal. It was
but there was like this quirkiness about her, and she
quirky, yes,
and she definitely operated differently than the other people.
Wasn't quirky. Chihiro she had a very
not quirky, but she was very different than the rest of the people around her.
Yes, she had a very strange outlook on life.
I don't know about strange, but I think just the fact that Chihiro was different than the people around her, and the people around her gravitated towards her because of her uniqueness. And I think the same could be said for Chihiro. And when Chihiro leaves...
You just said, you told me all about Chihiro, and then you said, and I think the same could be said for Chihiro.
I meant, I guess Amelie. Amelie was this sort of larger-than-life sort of character that everyone gravitated around, and the same thing could be said for Chihiro.
I can't fairly make this comparison because I saw Amelie once in the theater when it first came out, and I've never seen or thought about it ever again.
Yeah,
the only
we
recollection,
haven't seen Amelie at all.
The only recollection I have of Amelie is the roaming gnome. That's it.
Who stole that? Expedia,
I believe,
or one of those travel
services, and they're not even using the damn thing anymore.
No.
So that's the only thing I remember about Amelie and the movie poster where she's just like, "Ooh, look at me, I'm Amelie."
Anyway.
Go on, that poster. It looks like she's thinking that.
All right, I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. Olive G, I'm going to start with you, even though you didn't really pay attention to the film. What'd you think?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, what'd you think was so good about it?
I thought the character was good. She was like very nice.
She was very nice.
I don't know that.
What did she? This year came out this year.
2023.
Yes, that's the year we're living in.
Yeah.
More than halfway over, so yeah, it was plenty of time.
Shut up, Grace.
She was nice to who? She was nice to who? Tell me.
She's nice to the boy, the girl, an old man. I think some other people.
I think some other people.
She's nice to that lady in the...
Olivia is not a reliable source when it comes to this movie because she watched maybe 20 minutes of it, and this movie is 2 hours and 10 minutes long.
What do you think, G?
I enjoyed this film a lot. I thought it was cute, and I liked Chihiro's character because, yes, she is nice, and she spreads positivity or whatever, seemingly to everyone but her own family.
Which was interesting. I wish they had given more color. I mean, it seemed very bizarre that she has this relationship with other people and not her own tribe.
Well, I mean, maybe you could sort of see that. You could sort of see bits of her life or her past in the lives that these other characters are living. Like
Okaji.
Yeah, especially her with her weird dad and her weird mom. And
just navigating
the fact that
being a young person.
Yeah, and like the parallel between when Chihiro is talking about eating with Okaji. Okaji says basically like her mom is this master gourmet chef, but nothing has any taste to it. And she tells that story about her trying to make some sort of dish, and it was a mess, but it was delicious. And it was because she was eating it with the people around her sort of like made it taste good. And it's sort of like that when you're surrounded by
love.
When you're surrounded by love, things are just better. I mean, yeah, they may not be the best in the world, but to you in that moment, everything is heightened. Oh, we had the best time. This is the best food ever. Meanwhile, you're surrounded by, I don't know what was the dad's deal. Yeah. The mother was just, everything was picture perfect, but cold and sterile.
Yeah.
She had a sibling who never said a damn thing.
Lord, yeah.
Just head down. That's it. And you could see that in that kind of situation, it doesn't matter how delicious the food may have been. You just have that oppressive atmosphere surrounding you, and that's going to taint whatever it is you're doing.
Right.
And you could sort of like extrapolate that this is the sort of life that Chihiro had when she was younger, and also the weird relationship with the mother that Makoto had with his mom.
Yeah,
that he loved her, but she
was
clearly
was
never there, and never really sort of like giving him the benefit of the doubt that he's a thoughtful little kid.
Right.
Like when she comes with the flowers, and it's like, "How dare you? How dare you make my kid give me these flowers?"
Right.
And she's like, "That was all him. Everything about that was him."
Yeah.
And
she hadn't seen him prior to that. After the first encounter with
maybe if she had somebody like that in her life to stand up for her and say, you know what, your daughter is a thoughtful daughter to her parents, maybe things would have been different. Searching for the fact that her mom was not, I guess, either abusive or non-existent or whatever, you get that sort of hint because of the call about the funeral, but also because she's searching for another mother and another father. Yeah. And these are things, it's sort of like she's trying to make the loving family that she did not have. Rather than be a miserable, sad person, she's trying to find that. But not only that, the thing that was strange about it is like she also just realizes, I guess, that she made to be alone. And that's why once she got that, and like at that dinner or whatever, she says, "Oh, I was getting too drunk." And she made that sort of parallel with drinking and being in love. And some people get sick by it, and some people just enjoy it, I guess. And I guess she didn't want that.
She wanted the happy, sober life.
She wanted the happy, sober life, yeah. So she did have, she made this sort of like surrogate family, but in the end, she needs to, or she needs to be by herself, or she just has to be by herself. It's just the way she was programmed.
What do you think of that, G? You said something interesting at the end of the film. You said she's very anti-love.
Yeah, like romantic. She is no romantic.
And yet,
towards anyone.
When she has this surrogate family, it's almost like a hindrance. I don't know. She created this group of people that became sort of like a family. You could see Okaji taking care of Makoto, and Betchin taking care of Okaji in a way, and Tae and Bito,
Bito.
right? And their relationship. So, and then also she brought Basil into old boss's life, and they seem like they're gonna form a couple. So my question is, do you think she's afraid of love?
She might be, because she does say that people get too much and die. So she'd rather, like that, to live the sober life.
Yeah.
She might think that she could get addicted and then never get away. So she'd rather leave before that happens.
That's kind of sad, though, that she doesn't allow herself to experience love. It's almost like she puts the kibosh on it before it grabs her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you realize it's always going to end.
And then she did say something interesting to Basil, which is the whole thing about, because Basil was like, I don't understand you. And she said, well, I don't want to be owned. If that's what love is, I don't want to be owned.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because love is more than that. But I guess this is how she experienced love as a young person.
Yeah, I mean, your upbringing is a lot. And maybe like we said, if we can sort of extrapolate what Chihiro's life was from Akaji's life, why are the mom and dad together? It's like the dad owns the mom, kind of. Mm-hmm. And the mom is just sort of like, everything must be perfect. Everything must be perfect. Even though clearly it's not. I mean, and it's not like he's like this violent maniac. He just says these mean things.
Yeah. Oh, well, we don't know that he isn't a violent maniac.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone seems to walk on eggshells around him. I mean, that scene where he's just like immobile until she brings the soy sauce to the table. Yeah. I was like,
that
what
was weird. I thought he was going to start beating them all up.
I did too.
Yeah.
And even the daughters, and I understand that this is a more like male dominated society, but the way the daughters just never look up, always look downcast. Even the little one who says nothing. Mm-hmm. It's like everyone's almost afraid to say something.
Yeah, there is like a rigidness
to
this family.
Yeah. What did you think about? I mean, you never see him again, and I don't know if she had any kind of previous encounters with him, but the guy that she meets at the noodle shop that she eventually goes to bed with. What did you think of that guy?
He was just kind of there. I thought the point of that scene was to show that to Chihiro there wasn't really love, because it was just like sex to her. There was nothing else there. She didn't really care.
Right. And we never even know what that guy's name is. He's just number two.
Man two. That's it.
You don't even find out his name.
What did you think of that scene?
Yeah, I agree. It's she's divorced any sort of emotional attachment to sex. Sex is just sort of, it's like, oh, I feel like having ramen tonight. Oh, I feel like having sex tonight. It's like that.
Yeah.
There wasn't any sort of attachment there. And you could sort of see even during the scene at the end, it's like he doesn't even want to look at her. Not because he's like, oh, I'm done with you, babe. He realizes there's nothing there, I guess. And she's totally cool with it, not being anything there. Mm-hmm. But I think maybe for him,
he was looking for more.
Maybe.
I think most people are looking to make a connection.
Yeah. It's less like you don't really associate it with just like a utilitarian sort of act.
I mean, Chihiro kind of was, no? That was her definition of it. There was no love. There was just...
It's like when they replaced Homer with the doppelganger. He's like, we'll go upstairs and have efficient German sex.
What did you make of Chihiro? Did you think she was a tragic character in a way?
She was a little sad, yeah, but I feel like, yeah, I guess you could say there's definitely something tragic because...
Even Tay says that air of loneliness left.
Yeah. Even though she's bringing all these people together and making them better in a way or giving them happiness, she's not really finding that happiness for herself. Mm-hmm. And it's strangely enough if she were willing to open herself to be part of that happiness, she decides not to take it. It's just, okay.
She just ups and leaves.
She just ups and leaves. And this is like she found, like I said, the surrogates for mom, dad, I guess sister, brother.
And they all genuinely loved her.
Yeah, they all cared for her.
She touched their lives.
Yeah.
And then she just, okay, I'm gone. She's like,
She
like
died?
Michael Landon and Touched by an Angel. Gets back on the road and to the next adventure.
To the next adventure, till the next following week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was a very tragic character. They go into a little... She's kind of a mystery. You don't really know too much about her just from the pieces that the people bring together. But the ex-boss, I kind of enjoyed the thing about the shoes. He noticed the shoes about her, how they were ill-fitting and they didn't look like they belong, and they were worn and whatever. And just, I mean, I don't think that he knew, but they show her kind of at the top of a building, and his voiceover is basically like, if she hadn't come to us that night, or if she hadn't come to me that night, I don't know that she'd still be here.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he also found a sadness about her. And then at the end, when Tay says to her, well, you can be alone anywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, why not just stay here with people that love you? But then I guess that would be breaking her own rules.
I guess.
It was very strange. I felt kind of melancholy after this film. It was kind of sad. I mean,
it's
good.
a happy, sad movie.
Yeah, it was very weird because like at one point I turned to you and I was like, "What would you categorize this? Is this like a slice of life movie?" But I guess not. But it's like it's definitely born of emotion and I guess drama and character development. And it's the other funny thing about this film is like it's kind of slow, but I didn't mind it.
No. I didn't
mind
mind
it
either.
at all. This
I
reminded
wasn't
me like Tokyo Story. Like I feel like Tokyo Story isn't a slow film, but I don't mind the journey with that film. Like I love that film. And I felt the same thing here. I don't think that I would change anything about this film.
Yeah, no. I can't see anything being different.
What did you think of Betchin, G?
I thought she was nice. I liked her friendship with Okaji.
Yeah.
I liked
Although she was very standoffish because Okaji's kind of like hugging up on her and she's like, okay, weirdo.
Well, she doesn't like say she's weird. It's not like she's like pushing her off violently. I think she was like happy, but she probably didn't know how to take it.
Yeah.
Because like she was getting like thrown out of her house, so she probably doesn't receive affection.
True. And she also says, like, Okaji's like, how are you so strong? And she's like, I don't think I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is that's a very prominent emotion in high school, right? You're kind of like a fish out of water. You're not a child, but you're not an adult. And it's weird to navigate that. And that was also weird how Okaji's quote-unquote friends sort of dumped her for some stupid infraction.
So dumb. Who does that? Like, my friends dislike or don't care about plenty of stuff I love. I'm not gonna cut them out. That was so stupid.
I feel like that stuff has happened.
It shouldn't.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure
It should.
high school friendships have ended for dumber stuff than
Than
you
that.
know, oh, wow, what do you mean you don't like this anime? Oh my God. Keith is so cute. That's one thing I don't get is when people start saying, oh, those characters are handsome. I have a crush on that one.
It's anime.
It's anime. If somebody looked like that in real life, you would be horrified. Seriously, have we not seen Michael Jackson's face?
Don't bring him into this. God damn it.
He carved it up to look pretty much like an anime character.
I'm not talking about Michael Jackson.
I thought he was going after
right
Diana
now.
Ross. The Diana
Do
Ross.
not speak of Michael
I think
Jackson.
he left Diana Ross in the dust a long time. Maybe he was targeting
We're
Diana Ross.
talking about Call
But
Me
he
Chihiro, not
right.
Michael
Overshot
Jackson.
that by
All
a
right, let's
mile.
rein it in.
Talking about Michael
All
Jackson.
right, let's rein it in. Let's rein it
Weird
in.
tangent.
What else? Does anybody else have any kind of thoughts here? Favorite character, Olive G?
Probably doesn't even have
The cat.
one 'cause she
The
didn't
cat.
Yes, the cat.
What was it? What was the cat's name?
Madam
Madam
Pussycat.
Madam
That's
Pussycat.
the only name I can really remember.
You're weird.
What about
Well, I
you?
can't remember Churro's name.
What about you, G?
I also liked her.
Chihiro's
My
cool.
favorite character was Chihiro
Why'd you like Chihiro?
because she was nice and pretty, and she was kind of like I can't really like find the right word, but she was just an interesting little character because she was weird.
She
in a
was
good way.
different. She was different, and
But
she
yeah.
wasn't a stereotypical young woman.
Not at all.
She'd had. You come to find out that she had been a sex worker, and so
I don't
obviously,
like that part about her.
Man,
listen,
be quiet.
people got to do what they got to do to survive. Don't worry about it. No judgment here. I think that also carried connotations with it. And it was interesting at the end at her next job, she says that she had worked at a bento shop.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought she was going to say that she had been a sex worker. She was going to continue that, but she didn't.
No, because this is a new life she's starting here. So her old life is the bento box worker.
Yeah.
And when she leaves the farm, the next job, she'll say, I was a farmer.
Right. Yeah. Did you have a favorite scene, G?
I guess nearing the end when they're all on the roof together, although it was a little bit sad because she left after that, but I thought it was nice at the beginning.
Yeah. What about you? Did you have a favorite scene?
I thought the most touching scene was when Okaji eats
Makoto's mom's
Makoto's
noodles.
mom's noodles, and she starts
She's
crying.
crying. Right.
That
Because she
was a
probably
good one,
remembered
too.
that it tastes different, and it probably did.
It was like the visual representation of what Chihiro was saying. It was everything was messy. There's crap on the table.
Yeah. But it was a lived-in home.
It's like this, not a gourmet meal. There's not like 10,000 bowls with sauces and whatever.
And nothing's
It's just
perfectly
a
lined up
plate,
and
a bowl with noodles and
It's
eggs
messy
and little sausages.
yeah.
And she like puts it in her mouth and she just starts crying because it's like, I could taste this.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like Makoto looked at her like an older sister. He was definitely bratty.
Oh, who did he- who
like
did he
a pain in
call?
the butt. Yeah, he
Yeah.
called her. Yeah.
He
when
didn't
got
call
locked
his
up.
mom.
Yeah. I think my favorite scene was Chihiro and Tay in the car.
That was a sweet scene too.
Yeah. And I think that the scene, I didn't cry, funny enough, but I think the scene that kind of like was a lance to the heart was, I always wondered if you had been my mother, the type of person I could have been. And I think that was so sad, and it definitely spoke volumes. Chihiro definitely carried a lot of hurt with her. I always wondered why, as a child, she was out on the street with the original Chihiro and what that was about. And just her as a child looking to hold on to an adult's hand. And Chihiro didn't even think twice about it. When she realized what she was doing, she just took her hand.
Yeah.
No question, no nothing. But then also on the flip side of that, you see when she asks, well, I don't know if she asks ex-boss for a favor, but ex-boss offers to take her out wherever she wants to go. And she chooses to go to her mother's gravesite.
Yeah.
And she chooses to, you could tell that she upkeeps, she brings stuff, she changes the flowers. She sits there quietly, but she does have, I guess, that respect, which was interesting because when the brother called her and asked her if she was coming to the funeral, she said she wouldn't. And he didn't even fight her. It was almost like resignation, like, okay.
Yeah, he understood.
Yeah.
He said,
So whatever scars there are, whatever scars there were from that relationship, they ran deep. I also that end scene of her in the farm. I love the backdrop of that. That was beautiful.
that was a beautiful shot. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go around the table and get numbers. I'm gonna start with you. 1 to 10. What would you give this?
I'd give this a 7.
G.
I like this film. I'll give it an 8.
I too would give it an 8. Olive G.
I mean, from what I saw of this film, I liked it. So I'd give this like a solid 7.
A solid 7. 2 7s, 2 8s. This is actually very worth your time if you want kind of a sweet, beautiful story with really good actors. No one's wasted, I felt like. It is long, but it didn't, I don't know. It was weird. It didn't really bother me. Sometimes, like, when you're watching a film, you're like, oh my God, there's still like an hour left of this. But here it didn't really bother me. I felt really invested in all of the characters. I wanted to see where this was going. I think it might be slow for some viewers, but I think if you give this film the chance, I think it will definitely just bring something to you, whether it's reminiscing of other days with other people or other like relationships with family, the family that we choose versus the family that we're given. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot here, and I think it's beautifully done. It's quiet and gentle, but I think it definitely leaves a lasting impression. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts? Any parting thoughts?
Nope, I'm good.
G, would you like to add anything else? This was your pick. Again, excellent. Well done.
Thanks. Nah, nothing in particular. I think that people should watch this film and see for themselves.
Absolutely. I agree with that. All right. And with that rounding endorsement, absolutely go check out Call Me Chihiro from 2023 TV 14. There is a scene of sex, I guess, but
there's no nudity
there's
in it.
no
though.
nudity in this.
You see a back.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Nothing.
There wasn't really cursing in it, was it? No, I don't remember. I mean, I don't know Japanese, but from the subtitles,
yeah, I don't recall any cursing in the subtitles.
I don't see.
I don't think that was either. But again, I don't think that this is going to be for everyone, but I do think that if you give it a shot, you'd be pleasantly pleased with the storytelling experience here. Again, pay your writers. God damn it. Mm-hmm. All right. And that's it from us. And we will bid you all a
Good night.
Good night.
good night.